So we saw some eagles in the back of the house.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I saw a deer. I think he's a welder.
Well, he also scopes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the first person that Mac Bills, who grew up down the street
Cookies.
on the corner, is Mac Bills, and the first owner was Richard Bird that he remembered growing up. And
So that street is called Bird Street to the locals,
yeah,
and that home was owned by Richard.
uh-huh.
Okay.
So there were probably birds before him that owned it.
Mm-hmm.
But and the person I want to talk to is a bird.
Mm-hmm.
by
The one that you
maiden
haven't
name.
talked to yet.
And her name is Orpha D. Johnson. That
Okay.
used to live next door to us.
When you lived in that neighborhood.
Frank and Orpha D. Yeah.
We lived on North Main.
And
Okay.
Matt says she's 89, but she's still living.
Okay.
Orpha
Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
So after Richard,
Orpha
then there were. Some,
Do you know when Richard was? Sorry.
when Mac was little? So and he's 74. So.
So 74 years before now is...
1940,
Okay.
something like that.
Okay.
Anyway, then it changed over hands to Phyllis and Cal Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Johnsons and Birds intermarried.
Uh-huh, because your friend that you were
Johnson.
talking about is Johnson.
Mm-hmm. And they had an outhouse there for many years. And finally put on the back end of the house a bathroom.
Mm-hmm. And took out the fireplace. Because that bathroom is right where the chimney goes up.
Oh.
Interesting. Okay.
So Sam Astle
Astle.
also owned land right in there.
Mhm.
And there was a shed that burned down 2 years ago.
Yes. Well, the sheds, I'm trying to remember which family, the Veters or maybe the Dieters. I'm not even
think
sure.
it's probably
Somebody
the-
built a bunch of sheds in the backyard.
Oh.
And one by one, the Fuentes, maybe, were tearing them down and burning them.
Oh. Oh, okay. Well, Lola Hatch, and I have Warren down by her name. So the Warrens were also long-term Mapleton folks.
Okay.
And Cindy and Dan Dieters. Oh, Warren is Lola's husband.
Oh.
Anyway, and Cindy and Dan Dieters lived there too, and then Erasmo Fuentes, the sculptor, lived there, and it was kept nicely. People kept a nice yard. The Veters did, and also the Fuentes.
Anna
But-
just handed me a post-it note that says the math I was trying to do a minute ago is 1941.
Oh, thank
So
you,
when
Anna.
Richard Bird was little?
No, when Mac was little.
When Mac was
Richard
little,
lived there.
Richard lived there. Okay.
Mhm. And
Mac wasn't around in 41.
Mac is 74.
74.
Mac was around in 41.
Mac was kind of born in 41.
And his last name is Bills.
Mac Bills.
And the Bills were down at the corner and around the street. His dad was the mayor of Mapleton. They're just long-term people.
I
Good
just
folks.
finished book
So
on tape.
there is a history of Mapleton
Oh,
done by Sue Wiscombe,
Mm-hmm.
and she lives just just west of the elementary school
Mm-hmm.
playground
Okay.
on the corner. And her husband's name is
But when
Jim.
I'm reading about
And
Solzhenitsyn, he's
Sue, we knew
it's a
them
biography
growing
of
up.
a guy that
But
was a Russian.
her book is in the library. Jim and Sue
and uses to poke
Sue
through
Wiscombe's
and
book
take apart.
in the Mapleton Library.
Uh-huh.
And there's been a new
writer.
history of Mapleton done, but it's more
During
picture,
Stalin. He was
um,
Joseph Stalin.
people
the Russian
oriented than maybe houses. And
dictator.
Okay.
so probably Sue Wiscombe's is
The better one to do.
Novels
It's an excellent
people.
source. And
Mhm.
she did that
talking about the
many
people.
years
He
ago.
was
I
talking
remember
about
hearing
the
about
Russian
it.
conditions.
Okay.
when I was younger. So
He
Max
ended up in
says that
prison,
somewhere around 15 years ago,
and then
he
he was really liked,
helped
and then he was kicked out
Dan
again.
Dieters replace the roof.
How many years ago did you say?
And he says he's not sure, but it could be 15 years ago.
Okay.
And they replaced the trim on the
Each new.
Outside.
below the roof on the house.
Do you know who added the hideous
Got a lot of people.
awning on the side of it? Okay.
Oh, that offside shed. He said, let's see
You
who
heard
did
that?
it. He said he thought big, but he didn't know how to do construction.
Yeah.
The person who added that awning, that carport that was so high. But he said he just didn't have good skills.
Yeah. Yeah. But you don't know who did it.
It was either Weeder or Dieter.
Okay.
I think it might have been Veeder. that
Okay.
did it.
And the woman that I spoke to, Mrs. Sterling, who owns the land behind it, said that at one point there was a disagreement about fences, but now that's all been worked out, and the fences are in the correct spot and under record correctly.
Oh. Well, the home right by the park, there's an old pioneer
Yeah,
home.
yeah, yeah, the bird home.
That may be the patriarch birds. I don't know. They look like they're in similar time frames.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yours might be even before that. It
Yeah.
was late 80s, you said?
95, I thought? I'd have to look to be sure.
Okay. Anyway, Sue Wiscombe's
You can-
book
you can
might
manage
have
those.
more about it.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
But Orpha D would know more personal stories because that's her family. And she's...
So she'd know tons.
Yeah, and I can call her. I just didn't get
You,
her number.
you just
on
haven't
that.
done all your homework.
All back
Yeah.
to moment.
She lives just down from the fire, the old, the Mapleton city office.
Sure.
Down by the market.
I passed by there today.
Yeah, where we used to live, except that house has been changed that
Troubles.
we used to live in. But Orpha D's hasn't.
Big trouble.
Still
for
there.
the city.
And Orpha D is Wendell Johnson's mother. Wendell, the artist, who
Wendell Johnson. They
Uh-huh.
said that name today. So the Mr. and Mrs. Sterling that I talked to today said Wendell Johnson used to own the piece of land next to this house.
Oh, okay.
So this
Well-
used to be owned by Wendell Johnson. I'm sure you've heard of his art. No, sorry, I'm too young and dumb. Yeah.
Okay, so Wendell
He
Johnson,
was mayor for a while.
So he owned the property directly
because
north
he's a bird.
of
He
ours.
was paralyzed.
So that's even more proof that this probably is a birdhouse.
Well, and
Wendell
Mary Ellen,
Johnson painted with his teeth. 'Cause he was
No,
paralyzed.
he's that guy.
Yes.
yeah. And
Oh, I've
when
heard
he
about
was
him.
Mayor,
about
mayor of
16,
Mapleton for quite a while.
when he was about
Wow.
16, he took a dive into the Mapleton Reservoir by the bench, and
I
hit
thought
a.
it was at the spillway.
Well, you know
south
where
of
it
town.
was. It was somewhere of a reservoir,
Sandbars change from time to time.
and he hit a sandbar and broke his neck, and so. But he
Marion
Wendell
had several kids.
married. He had Wendy Johnson. I don't think they had more than one.
I thought Wendy was Mac's child daughter.
No, Mindy is Mac's daughter. Wendy was
It was the
The
Dieters
daughter.
of the Dieters.
It's something. It was one of the two.
Wendell married Mary Ellen Edmonds'
No. Oh yeah.
sister,
Okay.
Susan.
Susan,
Okay.
and they had Wendy Johnson.
Okay.
Who's probably haven't followed her
Sure.
since, but Susan was a wonderful lady too.
Wendell wrote the quintessential history of Mapleton.
Wendell did?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
There's another
It's
one
in
then.
the archives there at Provo Library.
Okay, so what about the Wiscombs history? Sue Wiscombs?
I don't know about Wendell writing Sue Wiscombe's history.
No.
Wendell probably
No.
didn't.
But I didn't know. I forgot that Wendell wrote a history. He did.
I
Okay.
copied a lot of it, took pictures of it.
You did?
Yeah, because I couldn't take the book out of the library. so I
The
took
dang
those
library
pictures.
wouldn't let you have it.
At Provo, huh?
Provo Library in their historical whatever room up on the second floor.
Archives.
Archives.
Okay. That's all
I think
that
that's
I learned
fantastic.
today.
Well, that's a good solid 10 minutes of learning. So thank you.
Matt
Well,
said